Hi, James.
Hello, I'm Steven Seagal. That's right, Steven Seagal. And I just like carrots. The dictator carrots a lot. You know what? If you mess with me, I've done martial arts for 3,000 years now. Make him a perfect weapon.
Well, the friendly men are back, and now we are going back to our favorite country. We're going back to Sweden. We've had Sword. We've had the guy from The Crown. Now we're having one of our favorite Swedish film directors joining us right now. Mark, who's on the program?
We have Mr. Titus Paar, and we've got some other guests too. My co-host James Eats, and from Review Things, and Mimi Hattrey from the UK are all joining us today on the Friendly Men.
What the fuck am I doing here?
Hey guys! I'm gonna open up a bottle for this one, I can tell already.
What is your favorite Dolph Lundgren movie?
I really liked him. I'm friends with Dolph, by the way. I liked him in Johnny Mnemonic. I thought he was great in that one.
Yeah!
Oh,
man, Punisher. Universal Soldier is pretty dope.
I guess I have to go Rocky as well.
Yeah, Rocky IV, Ivan Drago.
If he dies, he dies.
I liked him in Johnny, but he was gonna be in my Seagal movie, but Seagal kicked him out.
Right, that's what I was asking you about him.
Because I wanted it to be like a Seagal versus Dolph Lundgren movie. It would have been awesome.
Quick question. Did anyone body shame Steven Seagal while he was on set?
No, treated him with such respect that it was ridiculous. I'm not kidding, we even worshipped him as an emperor because he asked us to. Like kneeling and like, no one has their heads higher than the emperor in China. And then he looked and we like all kneeled down. It's like, yeah. So now we were like kissing his ass throughout the whole thing, and he was an asshole throughout the whole thing.
You were like, no, you're not fat, you're just big boned, and that's a giant sloppy
No.
muscle you have.
No, I was very clear with everyone. Okay, don't talk to him. Just go about your thing, and I'll kiss his ass, and we'll get him out of here. Because he just does his close-ups, then he go and eat, and you got to bring in someone else that puts on the shades and does all the walking and everything else.
Would you work with him again, or was that just like a one-time deal?
No, man. One time is plenty. I have all my car stories, and I got my keys to Hollywood through him. So,
wow.
And I made fun of him throughout the whole film. He didn't know it when we were shooting, but I tricked him into doing all these stupid stuff, like being a double at the end.
You had my word. Avenge me, brother.
I don't know how I tricked him into doing that, but I was really happy. And like he just wanted this nude scene. I added horror, violence, and added scenes that she would, because he was like, "Oh, it's my soulmate," and yeah, it's so much love between you guys. I was just feeding that to him, but then I added horror elements, and people were like, "Yeah, she's kidnapped by him, and it's Stockholm syndrome." And and the other guys are like, "Yeah, can you roll your eyes when he's not looking?" And
I told you he was real, Grandpa.
Hey, see, you didn't know I could speak Swedish. Hey.
Basically made fun of him throughout the whole film without him knowing. So yeah, I don't think he would work with me again either.
I just really wanted to really kick off and say, by the way, loved Tan. It was really, really, really great. And loved some of your other work, like really inspiring as a recent graduate filmmaker. So hopefully you can carry on passing on the craziness down through that way.
Well, I've seen your short, so you're down that road already.
Rachel, we didn't finish it. Thank you so much for watching as well, by the way. And I understand you're busy, and yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, it was crazy.
I did my research on you, and I looked up a bunch of your songs. I love the Elvis stuff.
There must be light burning brighter somewhere.
I'm an Elvis guy. Love the Elvis stuff. And then I heard your song called "Won't Be Long."
Stuff that I do when I'm like on my lonesome and have a bit of beer and I do a song in like an hour.
It won't be long.
It wasn't bad, but it sounded like you two and Bruce Springsteen had a baby, and that baby was better than its parents, musically.
No.
I don't know if that's an insult or a compliment.
It was too big of a compliment, man.
It's a good song, though.
That's the thing I did when I was drunk in an hour.
I liked it. Let me do just some general questions and just bullet points. You don't gotta elaborate. I mean, you're a director, obviously. What is your favorite movie of all time?
Silver Fang, but it's a TV show, so it's a wrong answer. But
I've never heard of it. I'll look it up.
Yeah, it's the biggest inspiration for Fear of the Woods. It's an anime from the 80s, which is crazy, and about a bear dog hunting a big bear in the
I'm gonna have to write that down later.
Silver Fang. It was big in Sweden. It was a child show, but it was really gory. We watched it in like the early 90s. And like, what the fuck? Because they're biting heads off bears and blood everywhere. Yeah. So that changed my life, and that was the premise of when I saw that. I was like, I have to bring this bear to life somehow without stealing the rest of the story, but definitely capturing the bear in that snow, because that really left its mark on me.
What made you want to make movies?
I have this thing going on in my head. Everything that's being told to me, I see it in like edited footage. Everything I dream of, I see it as a finished movie. Everything I write. So my job is basically taking these movies I already have in my mind to try to convey it to other people and get them to do what I want. And I'm getting better at it every year, which is nice. So I always see the perfect movie in my head, then I try to not fuck it up bringing it to life.
I actually came across something you said online, and I thought it was really, really interesting. Like, how do you have can you tell me a bit more about your process when you're making, like, you said you make short films that qualify not just as like a 15-minute or 20-minute film, like they're also a feature or a pilot. Like, how do you actually have the process to do all of those things?
It depends on what the story is. Sometimes, like Han, that you like, that's just something I wanted to do with my girlfriend based on her book. So we just wanted to do that for fun together. So that wasn't a big thing. But when I try to get a feature going, and I know that people has never seen this before, they're not going to get it unless I show them. So the normal thing is then to do like a pilot, which is just a waste of time because you show it to like two people and then no one else sees it. So I always try to use it as a triple threat. So I do a pilot where I show investors and stuff, and I do it as a standalone short film that you can bring out to the festivals and stuff that stands alone on its own legs. And if I never get the chance to make this movie, fuck it. I at least I made a really cool short. And it usually is from the first scenes in the feature. So I already done like 10% of the movie. So that's sort of my, so I don't have to do that later. So that's sort of my.
No, it's actually such a forward way of thinking, to be honest. I might take a leaf out of your book.
Steal all you want. I have no competition, only people that inspire me.
Ooh, love maintained a drug that's high, and not the pill.
Yeah, Titus, about what was it like shooting in the cold weather in Fear of the Woods?
It's tough, man. It's like 20 minus, you're freezing your balls off, but no, I wasn't really freezing my balls off. The only ones that were freezing are the ones that are not working too hard. I was running up and down. I was on a fucking mountain, man, and we only had 5 hours of daylight, so we had to be there. We had an animatronic bear and everything. It was 2 meters snow, so
To Fear of the Woods, I like that it was in Alaska,
yeah.
but there was fjords. There's no fjords in Alaska.
You don't have lakes in Alaska or rivers?
Fjords, man. There's fjords in the background. Beautiful cinematography. I love Fear of the Woods. I watched it like 4 times in a row.
It's a lake and a river. I guess you have those in Alaska too.
I guess. I don't know. I've never been there.
You smoke too much weed, man.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, marijuana is legal in Illinois. What? Get it?
We have fjords in Norway. We don't have fjords in Sweden.
It was great cinematography. Mark brought all this up.
Marcus Miller.
The guy who played Goldilocks. Why does his tracksuit have the arrow pointing to his nether regions? There's an arrow going down this way. There's an arrow going down this way. It's pointing to his butt and his penis.
All about that arrow going towards his asshole. You're right.
Right.
Right down to his fjord.
Damn it, Titus.
You're not getting away with this, man.
I'm trying.
It's set in the 90s, so that was a typical, like, iconic 90s jacket.
Oh, I get it.
And I wanted him to, like, be very different to his uncles. Like,
Right.
in all ways possible. They're, like, from the old world, the big furry coats, and he's, like, from the new world, and he's, like, the PC version of people today. I guess, where he's trying to protect the bears, and they want to kill the bears, so it's, like... super from the modern world, from the old world, clashing in the family, but they still love each other.
But I like he kind of gets dragged into the old world.
I'm not like you, Dad. I never was. You're my son. You come from a long line of proud bear hunters.
Yeah, his blood, his hunting blood is still in him, and that might be more explored in the future.
One thing that I love about each of your shorts, from Han to Fear of the Woods to Legend of Dark Rider, you are so good with atmosphere.
Oh, thanks. You just don't want to do cool stuff without any heart. You got to bring the heart into it, I think. Otherwise, people don't care, even though it's about brutal stuff. But I think why you're feeling cold is because we didn't shoot it on a soundstage. We were there, freezing. That's what you get from. I hate working in studios and green screens and stuff. I like to get out there when it's horrible, like trying to get camera equipment to work on a big mountain somewhere, and because you get that atmosphere for free, you know, and you just add some smoke and stuff to it, and try to see what angles that will trigger everything and build up from that. So yeah, that's probably contagious. I mean, we shot Legend of Dark Rider in a real Viking village out in the snow as well.
You said that bear that they had was like an animatronic. How long did it take to prepare that to actually build that bear?
I think we spent about 6 months doing that. I didn't make it myself. It's a great workshop down in Gothenburg. It's called Fixus, and they do amazing creatures and stuff. So we just had meetings, and they updated me constantly. It was so much fun. It's like the most fun toy I ever had in my life. The bear, and had so much fun with it. And the guy who built it is also the guy in the suit. So it's a guy in a suit with running on crutches.
Okay.
And he has an animatronic head. Another guy is with a remote control and controlling, like, there's a smoke machine, and all the you have like 20 movements.
I actually wanted to ask something about the Dark Rider, if that's all right. Please tell me you're planning on doing a whole universe, and like I know you've wanted to put it into making it into a feature, but have you ever thought of it being like a episodic film? I feel like I just can't get enough when I watch that.
A lot bigger. I've developed a whole IP for that one, actually. Give me a second, I'll get some. Yeah, so the Dark Rider developed as a full IP. So obviously, there's a feature film that's hopefully in the works. You never know when that's going to happen, but that's full on scripted and packaged and everything. But I also have a comic book for it.
What?
Yeah,
What?
that we did. Yeah.
Oh.
So we've done a comic book of Dark Rider. Yeah, it's awesome.
How do we order that?
No, I don't sell it. I just give it away on special occasions and use it to get the IP rolling, basically. And we have all these music videos that we've done for it, and yeah, so it's a full on IP that I want to do as a trilogy, starting with the film. So I can't get enough of that either.
We're all hooked. Do it, please. Get it out there. For so long now, I've just been having this craving for like kind of a mythical, magical, dark, you know, and the craving's never really been satisfied, and it's all been like not quite there. And this just hit the nail on the head. Like this just really gave me like I wanted to see more, and also the hand. That was a good bit.
That was fun.
Right. Satisfying as well, seeing that all these arseholes really like just getting slated.
Yeah, and I actually did that before Game of Thrones was out. That was like my take on what I thought fantasy could be like, because it has a lot of black metal elements to it, like the aesthetics of 90s black metal videos from around here. So I love that atmosphere to it that comes from the black metal community, but also I love old sagas, you know, like Jason and the Argonauts and Conan the Barbarian. Maybe not necessarily the movies, but the comic books and all that. So it came from that, and Japanese storytelling. The Berserk series was awesome. So I wanted to like mix everything and just add some mystery into the world of fantasy, which never has any mystery really. It's just people going on quests, basically.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that, because there is a lot of back and forth in these kind of shows, and then the magical element doesn't really feel magical, but in this, like, you definitely had the pacing, and just how did you mix in the visuals with the aesthetic of the script that you had? Because obviously it's a very big universe, and there's a very big fan base, like you said, Game of Thrones as well. It did have that feel to it, but how did you develop that universe, and what did you pull out?
That's the fun thing for me, because I spent like 7 years developing these worlds and creating these characters, and so what I wanted to do with this is really take that it starts off as this slasher almost element with this Dark Rider that you believe is going to be like the villain, the Jason of the story, but then he turns out more to be like a sort of a Hunchback of Notre Dame kind of character, and at the end he becomes the hero of the piece, maybe more an anti-hero, but that's the guy you follow and root for at the end, which is fun. Building those worlds is so much fun, and you can't go wrong with fantasy, because I mean, no one can say like there's no fjords in Alaska or anything. Yeah,
I said it, Titus.
It's my world. It's like whatever I put on screen is my law, which I enjoy.
Where did you film it at? Like, where did or like film or like guess locations? Like, was it just one location?
Yeah, well, it helps that my friend Faravid of Uglas is a Viking. He's a real Viking. He lives as a Viking, so he has a whole Viking community. So he made all the costume, all the armor by hand with Viking blacksmith and everything. So he was so ambitious, and they even built that tavern by hand, like clay on the walls and stuff. So because of him, we shot it on an island outside of Stockholm, also in a snowstorm. So yeah, it really helped us. The only source of light was the fire and the stuff, and then we had some lights in the ceiling, of course, but that was the only. Then we didn't have any money, so we were like a small abandoned kiosk is where we spend the night, like sleeping on the floors together and like drinking beers afterwards. And it could have been the worst shoot ever, but it was awesome because all my buddies there.
Legend of Dark Rider. It brings you in from the very beginning, and it really makes you like worried about the bartender. Not the bartender so much, but that lady and the baby. What's going to happen to these people? And then the old guy telling the tale about the Dark Rider was awesome. He had a cool looking eye, and it was great storytelling. But now I thought you were going to do a Robert Rodriguez, if you will, from Desperado, where it was like Steve Buscemi came into the bar and was like, oh, you heard about the mariachi, and that. I thought you were going to do something like that, and I was waiting for it. And you didn't do it. Really liked that it didn't go that way.
Well, it was his last scene, so I mean, we didn't need him anymore. So no, but we did a lot for real, and he was really like going for it. But then we had the dummy of his face. So you don't see that much really. It's the Hitchcock effect.
Right? Yeah.
That you believe you see more than you actually do. But we had a dummy head that we split open, but that's a shadow on the wall.
I know you do music, and that awesome metal song at the end credits, was that you?
Yeah, it's me.
Dude, that song rips.
Yeah, thanks. I'm happy about it. Yeah, I try to do a lead track whenever suitable, and I get a fun idea. So I do that with my band, Army of Primitives.
Dude, you gotta send that to me, man. I love that shit.
Oh yeah, sure. It's on YouTube with the video and everything.
Oh,
yeah, it's me with full corpse makeup, all the cliches you can ever imagine from a black metal video with fire, blood, and snow and black and white horror footage and stuff. Yeah, roll the clip right now.
Sometimes the ones who go chasing ghosts end up being chased by them.
What's the difference between like shooting with these hardcore actors in the snow and in the cold to then working and directing with Steven Seagal?
Polar opposites, man. I mean, during Dark Rider with my buddies that killed himself, and I didn't pay him a cent. Going to Seagal and people in the States are just there for the money. And it's like 150 people of your crew, and Dark Rider we had like 10 people doing that. So yeah, that was a transition, and try to get them motivated, but they went on strike because they didn't get paid on time and stuff. So I lost like 6 days of shooting, but I still had to delivered the same movie. So some scenes I had to do in 20 minutes, like key scenes. I was like, yeah, this is one take, 2 cameras. What else am I gonna do? So yeah, that was a big thing, and like working with someone like those action stars. Then it's more, they don't think about their characters. They think, how am I being portrayed in this? Like, oh, if I do this, do I seem gay, or like will Mondays not like me because I'm like, so what? It's your character. You're an actor, right? Yeah, but it's me. It's going back to basic, like, okay, you don't know acting. Okay, you don't really know how to make movies here. You don't really want to be here. Okay, great.
Mimi, I have a question for you. If you got a phone call saying, hey, you want to be in a Steven Seagal movie and you're going to play Steven Seagal's girlfriend, would you accept?
Depends where it might lead to after. And as far as from an acting point of view, if it's a role, then it's a role, and as long as, I don't see why not, but I just would question what kind of film is being made if Seagal's in it and where that's going to lead to my acting career afterwards. But based on the role, I would take it.
There's a lot more uncomfortable stuff you can do as an actor.
Yeah.
Like being thrown into a fjord.
Yeah.
Now, your future film, We Hunt Giants.
She's coming closer. Place your force in the pit. We attack.
My favorite movie of all time is Jurassic Park. My least favorite movie of all time is Jurassic World Dominion. After watching your trailer, I felt like this is what dinosaur movies need to bring back, is fear, and they need to bring the stakes back. Mimi had the reaction with Dark Rider. I had that same reaction with We Hunt Giants. Where is it in the process? What can you tell us? What's going on with this project? Because Mark can wait, but I can't.
Well, that started off as also something I wanted to do since I was a kid. So I always wanted to like bring in, because with Jurassic World and all those movies, I mean, they got a machine gun, But what if you bring them in with a primitive person that only has like spears? And then a T-Rex is a lot more frightening because there's so much you can do towards a T-Rex, and like bringing in that to a world where this T-Rex doesn't belong, like up in the north. So it's a lost, crazy T-Rex that comes into this peaceful valley. So yeah, that's a pilot at this stage, and almost died last year. So I was like, yeah, I don't want to just stand around dreaming. So I want to live my dreams. So I sold my house and funded this crazy project, and everyone came here and they did it for free. And for some reason, I got one of the top guys at ILM that also did your least favorite movie there. So yeah, he came over and he so we co-produced that with his company Eclipse VFX, and so yeah, I mean, he's the star of it. Otherwise, it wouldn't have worked. So he's really Andreas Fikes, his name is, and so he built this from like all the dinosaur, from the skeleton and the muscle, every scar, everything. So he's handmade every movement and all these stuff. So he spends like a month after hours because he's working at ILM on these huge movies, and then he comes home and does a few hours of mine. Also, we came back in the fucking snow. I don't know why I keep doing this to myself, but they look good in snow. So I love watching movies in snow. I hate making them, but it is fun. And my troopers, they're all there and they're really killing it. So it's a pilot and it's a short. It's gonna be 5 minutes. It's all edited, so we're just waiting on the VFX to come in, and then hopefully do a feature of it.
Can you say a bit more about the process of like after making a pilot? How do you then go into getting people interested to get your pilot into a feature?
I mean, it helps now. I'm rep by Zero Gravity in LA. So they're like one of the top agencies for writer directors, especially from the Scandinavian countries. They have a lot of us over there. So they're also production companies. So they know everyone, and I know a lot of people myself. So I just send my stuff to them. Like, do you want to produce this with me, or do you want to sell it? So basically, you can go on the market with a sales agent, and you show the pilot to buyers, and then they pick it up for the different territories, and then you have your budget, basically. And you can also go out to cast. I don't want to cast names in We Hunt Giants. I'd rather have cool faces in that one because the star is the T-Rex. So that's the way I'm doing it now. So I'm building this, and then also I spend a fortune like sending it out to a bunch of festivals so people see it, but it doesn't generate as much as you think it's gonna do. It's more about who you email, really, and watch it, and if they see that it's something for them. And basically, what I want to do with We Hunt Giants is to do like the first high-end R-rated dino movie. It's gory and brutal and gritty, and not so much popcorn. It's more like apocalypto in a dinosaur world is what I'm going after.
How much of because you've done quite a lot of like special effects / VFX in all of your films, how much of that is balanced together? So, and obviously with the T-Rex, is it going to be fully? So
yeah, we're not going to build a T-Rex for this one. It's I don't have that budget, and I have the best dino master out there. So no, that one's full CG. We're gonna do some SFX things in it, and we do all the stunts and everything for real, and we do everything on location. I don't think they even went to the snow in the Dominion, right? And I think they shot all that in the studio because it looks very CG, that snow. But I like to be on locations, and it was horrible on this location because it was a snowstorm. We couldn't even get there. So, but we cast Magnus Samuelsson, who was the world's strongest man, strongman for a while. So he carried our trucks to the parking spot, which was awesome.
Titus, I just on behalf of a big dinosaur fan myself, I just cannot thank you enough, because I've been dreaming for a R-rated dinosaur movie. Mark has also been dreaming of an R-rated dinosaur movie, and Mark is going to give you an impersonation of a dinosaur. Mark, show him your dinosaur impersonation. Go.
Damn it.
Yeah. I want to circle back to shooting in the snow, shooting in the winter. Some of my favorite movies, especially horror movies, my favorite being The Thing, is shot in such a desolate, frozen area. I feel like you get an eerier feeling being out in the woods, knee deep in the snow. Is that something you want to kind of capture, especially with that sort of atmosphere?
Yeah, I think people get comfortable nowadays. I mean, look at White Fang, look at The Thing, all those movies, shot on location. How would you do that in a studio? I guess you can. Then you do like what was that one with the dog and Harrison Ford recently? You get a lot of CG, but you see it's plastic. I like it to be more gritty and real on location. That's why I enjoy.
I'm sure it's a pain in the ass to shoot in the winter.
It's so much for the actors. It's so much for me. Everything you got, you smell the cold. I mean, the actors are walking there with their rifles and like overseeing the vistas. I mean, trying to capture that in a green screen studio, like I'll pretend that there's mountains out there, and they don't. Yeah, it's just not the same.
Titus, man, I wish you the best. I'm not sure where Mark wishes you, but I wish you the best.
Mark, what do you wish him?
Wish him the best.
I wish I had a Mark sitting here and we could just cuddle all night.
I believe you can get me through the night.
Sorry.
Video
You guys
about
are
you.
fucking crazy. And keep being insane and getting more cool people on this show, and you'll be super big in the future.
Whoa, whoa.
Mashed potatoes are great.